Hey guys, Chicky Maine, Debut.com with the Debut.com Surf Forecast Update. This forecast update effective around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, June 14th, 2016. And guys, if you've been following along on our forecast, we're now about 5 days inside of a real-time event setting up off the Outer Banks. As we've been detailing in our forecast, the models have been showing an area of low pressure developing off the Outer Banks. That's going to increase some northeast fetch. The models over the last couple of days have split between the Euro and the GFS, with the Euro more of a northern tendency. We'll show you that, and the GFS on a more southern leg. We'll show you that in the models in just a few moments. But the area of low pressure responsible for this Outer Banks low, there's actually going to be two. And it's the second one that's going to dip in behind the first one that's going to open up that northeast fetch. The first one is forecast and looks like it's going to move off towards Bermuda at a fairly fast clip, and then the second one drops in behind it. Now, the timing of this is going to be going into the weekend, guys. So this is Father's Day weekend. If the surf happens to get large for your area, which there's a possibility of that, based on what we're seeing in the models and based on what we're seeing in the satellite imagery, just remember, know your limits. This is Father's Day. Make it an enjoyable one, but also be safe. But this is all compliments of this gale that's up here over Nova Scotia. And, you know, here at Debut.com, we believe in signs when we look at the satellite imagery. And if you look closely, you can kind of see two eyes, a nose, and a mouth with a face that looks like it's getting ready to get gnarly. And you can already see it in the satellite imagery right in here, right off the Outer Banks, how it's already starting to suggest that we could see something spin up in here. This is all rotating like this in a counterclockwise rotation. So in here, this is creating drag off the Outer Banks and is pulling what is over the north central United States. Models have been showing an area of low pressure lifting up just to the north of the Great Lakes and then dipping back down towards the Outer Banks. This flow and this pattern is known to produce tropical cyclone activity. Models are not showing that at the moment, but you can't discount that, especially with the models being kind of flip-floppish the way that they have been. Here it is in the ECMW. This is for Friday going into Saturday. This is that second low now. The first low is off to the screen in your northeast or up to your to the top right corner of the image. But this is showing high pressure stacked on top of this low, creating a nice northeast fetch all the way from Nova Scotia all the way down in here towards Florida. So there is some hope for you South Florida surfers who've been chomping at the bit to get something to ride, that you got something coming. Either way, the GFS or Euro presents a good opportunity for maybe an extended period of rideable surf. We'll just have to see how the forecast holds out. But then this is going into Sunday. And here's where the differences are between the Euro and the GFS. Euro wants to lift the low pressure back up towards the mid-Atlantic and then move it back off the coast just south of southeast of New England, and weakens it. We'll back up for just a second and show you that here it is, Saturday or Friday into Saturday, Sunday lifting back up. But this still creates northeast winds in here as high pressure settles over the southeast in here. And then you got this strong northerly and then northeast fetch coming in off the high. So that's still a swell producer in there. And then it moves it off, leaving light northeast winds into eastern Florida, and then offshore wind flow from the mid-Atlantic, from south of the Outer Banks all the way through New England, offshore winds as the low departs. Now let's take a look at the GFS, guys. Here's the GFS. This is going to be Saturday, Sunday into Monday now. So timing is off just a little bit, but difference in track. Here's this low southeast of the Outer Banks with a 1024 millibar high. So flow and rotation is like this in a clockwise direction, and then putting pressure on the backside of that low, tightening up that fetch in there. I think Caesar forecast currently just shy of 20 feet. I could be wrong. We're still around 5 days, guys, so there's not a ton of confidence yet, but it's starting to grow. And then we move you into Sunday, and it weakens and kind of spreads the area of low pressure out, but the high pressure now shifts up to the mid-Atlantic, creating a longer northeast fetch aimed all the way down in here towards Florida. So that's going to get some northeast swell going if this model holds true. And then as we advance into Monday, it takes those two areas of low pressure and puts it out here on the back top side of Bermuda with that high still stacked in here over the mid-Atlantic. This is putting out some nice strong northeast fetch, and then it wraps back in here towards Florida. So we're at multiple days of northeast fetch either way on those models. Just wanted to give you a quick update, guys. I know it's frustrating, especially when there's no rideable surf. You wanting to know when the surf is coming in, but based on the models, they've been flip-flopping, and it's just not good to update and then have to change what you updated yesterday. So bear in mind, keep in mind that the forecast is for this weekend. We'll do another update here in the next 24 to 48 hours as things start to unfold, but we are seeing it in the satellite imagery. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the update.